welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. It's Thursday, and I have another project ready for you. I think I teased you a little bit on Tuesday, and with the Natural Botanicals Stamp Set, showed you how you could use both sides of the stamp, and I think I hinted that that was going to be used on my projects today. So let's get started. I am using the thick cardstock, the thick white cardstock, because my card base is going to be white, and I wanted a little more stability in my card base. So this is the thick cardstock. You don't need to use it when you're just doing your regular crafting, but if your card base is going to be white, I recommend this. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then burnished so that it makes our normal size card. And I'm using two of the dies from the Textured Notes dies. These are gorgeous. Look at those. Look at all the detail in those. Each one has a different pattern. And I'm using the second and the third ones here for the project today. I'm also using the Natural Botanicals. I'm going to use this stamp there. In the Spotlight Nature, the leaves, I'm using this embossing folder. It's a set of two. I'm using this one here, and you can see I embossed this piece. It's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. All right. I'm only going to need one of those for this. I knew I needed some sympathy cards, and a good friend of mine, Michelle, shared a beautiful card with me, and I didn't have the stamp set she did. Let me show you the card she made. Isn't that gorgeous? Very simple, but perfect for a sympathy card. So I didn't have this beautiful stamp set. It's one of those that I keep thinking, maybe I'm going to have to get that one. And then I talk myself out of it. So now that I've seen her beautiful card, I'll probably end up having to buy it. All right, so we're trying to make simple today, and I know that's really hard. It is for me. All right, we're going to start with some garden green, and I'm using the leaves from the Spotlight Nature for my first card. I'm actually going to do two today. All right, I'm going to take the leaves, I'm going to turn them at an angle and try to get as much of them inside the detail of the die as possible. Isn't that gorgeous? Very simple, I know. I usually tell people I'm a plain Jane. All right, grab my liquid glue. I'm going to adhere the larger rectangle in the middle of the card. Michelle was making this card at Kitten Cup, and I was trying to decide if she'd be upset if I said, "Hey, could I take a picture of that card? I'd really like to have a picture of it." And before I could say that, she said, "Hey, would you like to have one of these?" I said, "Oh, yes, I would. Please, please, please." So I really appreciated her sharing it with me. And unfortunately, I think all of us need sympathy cards more often than we definitely would like to have to use them. And it's so nice to have them on hand because I always want to get a card in the mail and I don't want to wait. So having some on hand, I think, is a great idea. And that's what I'm doing with these. I'm getting them ready so that when I need a sympathy card, I have them. All right. So we're going to go like that. Then I'm going to take with Sympathy, and it is from the Unbounded Love stamp set. This set I use so much. It's got such great words in it. All right, so we're going to ink it up with the garden green because I thought it'd be good to just do everything in one color. But I wanted to add just a little something. So I took my blends and I colored these. Now we don't have garden green blends, but what we do have is we have shaded spruce and we have old olive. And I mixed them together. I did it before I started because I wanted to make sure they would be dry. But I colored the first one, I'll show you here, colored the first one in the shaded spruce. Go ahead and do 3 of them. Then I did Old Olive over the top of them. And I think it makes a color pretty close to garden green. Grab my, can't find my Take a Pick. I used it the other day and now I can't get my hands on it. I'm sure it's here somewhere. All right, I think I'll put one up here. One down here by the With Sympathy. And we always want to do threes. So I'm going to do the other one. Let's see. I'll do it down here. And there you go. Very simple, but I think really pretty. Like I said, I did this one with just the garden green. All right, let me show you the other one. It's going to take just a little more work. So I love this new flower in the Natural Botanicals Stamp Set. Again, we're using this one. Now, when you're going to color this, you have to make sure you use our markers and not our blends. And if you watched my tip the other day, you know I messed up and I used my blends and it didn't work. All right, so I'm grabbing another card base here. And the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and stamp my With Sympathy down here in the corner. So I have that ready to go. All right. Now for my flower, we're going to start at the top of it and we're going to color the top with pecan pie. And like I said on Tuesday, you want to color with the side of your marker. You get great coverage. It works wonderful and you don't ruin the tip of it. You want to keep that tip nice and sharp, and so when you do need to color something small, that tip is ready to go. All right. Then I'm going to do the stem in garden green, and that matches the ink I used with Sympathy. All right. Going to grab my smallest rectangle using the same die cut pieces that I used before, using the Huff on It technique. All right. And there's that flower. Now I could leave it like that. It looks okay. You could use your colored pencils and you could color it in. I'm going to flip my stamp over. And now I'm going to use Lemon Lolly to fill it in, as well as crumb cake. All right, so I'm going to use crumb cake here on the top part. I want a lighter color because I don't want this to get the detail to get lost because the filling is the same color. I like to almost always have my filling be just a little bit lighter than the detailed outside stamp. All right. Off on it again. Line it up. I apologize if my head's in the way. And fill in my flower. Doesn't that look gorgeous? All right, so for this one, and this didn't work quite well here, so I'm going to just lightly add just a little bit there. You don't want to use a heavy hand or it's going to get too dark. Just that one centerpiece I thought needed it. All right, so for this one, I couldn't quite handle doing just all of them where it was, the front was just white. So what I did was I took the embossing folder that is, where did I lay it? Thought I laid it right here so I'd have it to show you. It's a set of two. Oh my goodness. I'll find it. Oh, here they are underneath my stamps. Okay, it's a set of two. There's these squares and then there's these flowers. And what I did was I embossed, oh shoot. Well, this one's just a little too wide now. I did a piece that's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to take a fourth of an inch off there and see if that will work here. Yep, that will work because I don't want to cover up my with sympathy, but I just wanted a little something more than what was on here. So ink this or glue, add liquid glue. There we go. I'm not putting ink on it. And we'll put that on here like that. And I thought it'd be neat to have just a little more texture. So I again use the two rectangle dies from the textured dies. And FYI, I accidentally ordered two of those. If you'd be interested in those dies, let me know. I will make you a good deal on them. Don't know what I was doing, but I accidentally ordered two of them, and I don't need two. All right, so for something different on this one, I'm gluing the top sheet down to the second one, and then I'm going to put the dimensionals on the larger piece this time for just something a little bit different. I've had the Natural Botanicals for a little while and haven't used them and realized I needed to get them out of the case and use them. So when I was working on this card, I thought this flower would be just perfect. All right. So then we'll center this. All right, isn't that gorgeous? So you can see how different it is just to add this embossed piece and to use color. Two different colors here instead of just the simple. So which one do you like better? Do you like this or this? And I'll probably do I've got another card base ready to go. I may put the embossed piece behind just the leaves, and you can let me know whether you like that one better. All right, and I did color yellow gems, so I'm going to add those as well. I love this idea, and I'm so glad Michelle shared it with me. She was so generous to share the idea and even give me a card, which is better than just taking a picture of it. So I have to be honest, a lot of times I take pictures and then I forget to look through the pictures for ideas. And then I couldn't help myself. I found some ribbon, or actually it's just twine, that I thought would be really pretty with a simple bow. Yellow would be pretty as well, and maybe would stand out better than the green, but the green is what I found first. Grab my dimensional or my glue dots. Like I said, the first one was simple, and I just added a little more to this one. I just couldn't help myself. But I thought that would make a beautiful sympathy card as well. So as you can see, she did hers in all blue. I did my first one in all green, and then I had to mix it up a little bit and add just a little more color. If you'd like any of these products, I would love to sell them to you. Definitely reach out to me at Davita's Stampin' Spot. Again, I have a set of the rectangle dies. The first person to reach out, I will make you a good deal on those because I would like to get them in someone else's hands so they're not just sitting in my stash. Hope you've enjoyed these projects, and I'll see you next week.